So, good morning, everyone. I'm going to start my session now. So, my work mainly based on the computational studies of electron transport studies of Kirmesic acid. So, in this method, before going to that, so what is meant by solar cell? Solar cell is nothing but the light energy is directly converted into electrical energy by using the sunlight. So, basics of solar cell is nothing but photoelectric effect. And after the discovery of photoelectric effect, so that again by using the sunlight, the research will be going that the sunlight energy is converted into an electrical energy discovered by Edmund Becquerel. Next one, sir. Next slide, sir. So based on the development of solar cell, so that will be mainly based on the dye-sensitive solar cell that will be discovered by Michael Drexel in 1991. So basically, the dye-sensitive solar cell basically based on the dyes, mainly organic solar cell. Next slide, sir. So the working mechanism of dye-sensitive solar cell mainly based on the 5 functions. So the first one is the absorption of sunlight, and after that it will be exit to the conduction band of titanium dioxide, and after that it will producing the reduction and also the oxidation. So based on that, the counter-electric that will be prepared by the cathode material, and after the reduction of generation method, we just using the electrolyte, and after the electrolyte conduction, that will be the electrical energy will be produced, and that will be flows in the circuit. So based on the dye molecules, we have to using the computational studies. Why we just go through for a computational studies means mainly based on the dye, which will be based on the absorption wavelength and also its electronical properties. So in this studies, I just using the density functional theory by using the Gaussian 3 software. Generally, it will be known as the molecular modeling. So why we have to computing the molecule means it will provide the experimental research and also the different developed materials, and you have to producing the different interactions with the molecules. So in this studies by dye-sensitive solar cells, we just using the dye molecules doped with the semiconducting materials like titanium dioxide and also the zinc oxide. So the mainly solar cell based on their band gap energy, when you have to dope it with the dye molecule with the metal oxides, it will reducing the band gap energy. That will be analyzed by the HOMO-LUMA analysis. Next slide, sir. Next slide. So my method of work is mainly based on the theoretical and also the experimental results. So mainly based on the my work is anthraquinone pigments. Why just taken the anthraquinone dye means it is a replacement because it will producing the hydroxyl ions. So it is mainly in between the donor and also the acceptor molecules. So various research will be performed by using the ruthenium dyes. My work mainly based on the anthraquinone dyes based on hydroxyl ions. So in between that, there are 3 important parameters. One is a HOMO, and other one is a LUMO, and another one is a electron transfer from donor to acceptor molecules. Next one, sir. Next slide. So previously, different dyes that will be taken from Greizel, mainly based on ruthenium dyes. My work based on the Kirmesic acids. From the figure, you just see the optical properties of Kirmesic acid, and also doped with the titanium dioxide. You just see the band structure that will given the different parameters. So the Kirmesic acid with the hydroxyl ions and also the doped with the titanium dioxide. Next slide, sir. So now you have to see the experimental spectrum of Kirmesic acid with titanium dioxide, and then computational studies of Kirmesic acid and also the doped with titanium dioxide. So the compare with the experimental with the computational studies, the both the Kirmesic acid and then doped with titanium dioxide, the wavelength will be increasing, and which will reducing the band gap energy by using the Hc by lambda value. So within that, the both the materials which will given the visible region. And next we just go to switch over to the HOMO-LUMA analysis. Why we have to perform the HOMO-LUMA analysis means which will reducing the band gap energy. So the first diagram which tells about the Kirmesic acid of we just doped with the different HOMO plus 1, HOMO plus 2, and HOMO plus 3. The electrons will be shifted from lower band to higher band. So next slide, next one diagram which represents the kirmesic acid with titanium dioxide. So both HOMO and then LUMO, the in between the lower level and also the highest accumulated level, which will given the band gap energy. So that will be increasing with electron volt. It is measured in terms of electron volt. Next one, say, sir. So which is based on the computational studies, I just concluded that the geometrical, electronic, and absorption spectrum of anthraquinone doped with titanium dioxide, which will given the new interpretation that when you have to take on the any dye molecule, you have to incorporate with the metal oxides, which will producing the new way, uh, uh, which will given the pathway to the experimental studies. I just here I given only the computational studies only, but I will next I will switch over to the kirmesic acid with the titanium dioxide by using the experimental studies. So from the analysis, we have to develop the new design. Again, I have to plan to kirmesic acid with zinc oxide and also the cerium oxide like that. So from that, we have while the HOMO LUMO band gap is decreasing, which will given the longer wavelength and also the high excitation energy. So the results concluded that we have to replace the organic dyes with a different doped dyes like anthraquinone dyes. So within the studies, I just concluded my session. Thank you, sir.
Well, ma'am, thank you for your presentation. Did anyone have any kind of queries? Kindly ask to her. If anyone wants to ask any kind of question regarding for her research, kindly ask to her. Ma'am, can you repeat your presentation topic, ma'am? Okay, well.
Hello.
Hello? Ma'am, can you, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your presentation.
Okay, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Tejmul, good morning, good morning. I am sharing your presentation 1 second.
Okay, sir.
Is screen is visible to you?
Yes, sir. I'm seeing.
Okay, then carry on.
Okay, sir. Share my PPT, sir, please.
The screen is visible to you, Tejmul?
No, sir, I'm not seeing the PPT. Please share my PPT, sir.
I'm sharing your PPT only.
I'm not seeing, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm seeing now.
Okay, then. Continue.
Okay. Good morning, all the listeners. I'm Tajamul Islam from University of Kashmir. So I'm delivering my presentation on the pandemic coronavirus, the challenges and opportunities to tackle the disease in the country, India. Next slide, sir. First of all, I will give the introduction. What is coronavirus? Coronavirus disease, it is actually the acronym, the COVID-19. COVID-19 means the coronavirus disease that outbreaks in 2019. So it is the novel coronavirus. Actually, it is severe acute respiratory syndrome virus that is declared a pandemic on 2020, 11th of March, and it has been outbreaked in Wuhan city, Hubei, that is the province of China. As it is a respiratory syndrome, and because we have never faced such type of disease, that is why we face a lot of challenges to tackle the problem like COVID-19. And late December 2019 reported by WHO, and after that 30 January 2020 that WHO declared COVID-19 outbreak as a global emergency. On March 11, 2020, the World Health declared COVID-19 as a global pandemic. The disease we can categorize on the basis of this pathogenicity or epidemiology. One is pandemic, second is epidemic, third is endemic, and fourth is sporadic. The pandemic disease is that which engulfs the whole the world. Now, it is predicted by Center for Disease of Control Prevention that the cases of COVID-19 are likely to be in the United States in the future months. Not only this, but they also warn about the widespread of SARS COVID-19 as the community transmission. Community transmission is said to be the third stage when there the spread of disease occur not only by the contact but from the community things also. Scientists designate the statistic data of COVID-19 cases. 81% were mild. This is actually the paper that I compiled in the initial phase of the COVID-19. There were 81% of mild cases, 14 were severe. But nowadays 91% are mild and 9% are severe, in which 2% are fatalities. Now at that time 5% were critical. They were showing the respiratory shock, failure, multi-organ dysfunction. And now latest paper has been published that shows the COVID-19 virus also destroys the insulin cells, and that can cause the diabetes first. Symptoms of COVID-19: fever, chills, repeated shaking, loss of smell. That has been also described in late stage of the COVID-19, that a person can lose the taste of smell. And also the pink eyes. This is also the we can say the symptom of COVID-19. Fatigue, septum production, diarrhea, and respiratory distress. The most serious manifestation of COVID-19 appears to be the pneumonia, because there occur the outbreak and storm of cytokinin in the AC and angiotensin presenting cells, APC cells in the lungs. Complete or partial loss of sense, that called anosmia in the patient eventually diagnosed with COVID-19 positive. Patients have respiratory disorders and newly onset of fever. However, some patients show severe lower respiratory tract. The method for detection of COVID-19 is the RT-PCR, real-time polymerase chain reaction, that we use reverse transcriptase enzyme in that, and that shows the quantification of COVID-19 viral strains within the swab of the patient. Now, to find the opportunities and challenges to tackle the COVID-19, analyze the impact of COVID-19 on a country due to lack of infrastructure like healthcare system and management. We are residing in the developing country, so here is a lack of health infrastructure. Like initially there was a lackage of the ventilators, and that was very panic within the country how to tackle the COVID-19 pandemic. On May 1st, 2020, some antiviral drugs like remdesivir, which show promising recovery of COVID-19 patients, gained emergency use authorization from FDA. Other antiviral drugs, immunotherapies, and vaccines are in a queue to be investigated and developed as a potential therapy against COVID-19. Now, Patanjali has also produced the drug that is called that is also show promising against the COVID-19, because that is the herbal drug prepared from gingiber optional and all these things. It became extremely difficult to handle the spread of dreadful virus, because there was no previous experience to handle such type of diseases. So this virus is newly emerged, making population at high risk of infection that can easily transmit from person to person. This was the first stage of coronavirus. And after that, second stage and third stage we get from community things, like just we buy anything from the shopkeeper, we get the coronavirus infection from that. Now India is a vast country of population 134 crore and density of 464 kilometers. But here is the lack of infrastructure of healthcare workers. That is just 4.4 persons per 1,000 person in the community that we have the healthcare workers. That they were promising to combat the COVID-19 disease. personal protective equipment, ventilators, sanitizers. There was a shortage of sanitizers in the initial phase of COVID-19. That was also the panic creating condition in the population of our India. Now we will conclude how to combat the COVID-19. We have to hand wash regularly, sanitization, practice of physical distancing of almost 2 meters, that is the 6 feet. So that, because earlier it was diagnosed that the COVID-19 can spread through droplets. But according to my view and according to the papers that has been published, the chance of the spread of coronavirus is 2.5, that is or not, or zero. The spread chance of coronavirus is 2.5, and that is just a mask should be there to eradicate and to combat the COVID-19 spread. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for your presentation, Tejmul. And I have a small doubt. I think
Okay, sir.
you are saying about the impact of coronavirus, right?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Did you know how many formation does that virus taking place in India?
Yes, sir. Actually, it has been there are three strains of coronavirus like A, B, and C. The mildest strain is in India. Mildest strain. That is why we are seeing less fatality in the whole nation.
Means like in recent strategies, means I'm just giving a small kind of input to you. In as per present
Okay,
India statistics, nearly
okay, sir.
152 formations was been taking place in coronavirus,
Okay, sir.
different forms. While getting impact by the coronavirus for the people, nearly 152 types of viruses are attacking. Means the coronavirus
152
was,
strain, sir, isn't sir?
yeah, 152.
Okay, sir.
And I think it is entirely a secondary data information, I think so.
Yes, sir. It is a review paper, sir.
Yeah, it is a review paper. Did anyone have
Yes,
any
sir.
kind of queries? Anyone wants to ask any kind of question to him? Well, thank you, Tejmul. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Can you unmute your audio and video?
Yes, sir.
Uh, well, Vinith Anthony. Is Vinith Anthony present over here? Vinith Anthony. Participants, just wait for a while. She is loud. She, Hello, hello, Vinita Anthony.
Hello, sir.
Ma'am, can you unmute your audio and video?
Sir, is it
Well,
okay?
well, ma'am, continue your presentation.
Okay. Good morning. First of all, I take this opportunity to thank the management Wonders team for giving such a platform for presenting for the researchers and all others to give their idea. Thank you so much. So my work is on microgreens, and microgreens are greens that has been emerging nowadays, and it has been not much common, but it is popular in southern California. In western parts it is much common, and even in the restaurants also it is being mainly used for garnishing and all. So microgreens, they are young vegetable greens, and it is having a 1 to 3 inches tall, and also microgreens are considered as baby plants because it is only having a height of 2.5 to 6 centimeters tall. And as I have said, it has been first found in San Francisco, California, and that was in 1980s. Next slide, sir. So this is some of the literature pertaining to the study of microgreens. Microgreens are considered as baby plants falling between sprout and baby greens. It is not sprout, and it is not a small green leafy vegetable. It is something that is falling between that, and it should not be consumed with sprouts also, because sprouts is something that we just have from the seeds itself. It is not seed, but it is pulses. Even if it is green gram, we will just soak it in water, then we will allow it to sprout. It is not this. It is hybrid seeds. Microgreens are hybrid seeds, mainly designed for the cultivation purposes. And these are all review of literature. That is, it is nutritious, and it is having 4 times above nutrient content, especially the micronutrient content is very high in microgreens. Next slide. Next is the research objectives: to study the growth of varieties of microgreens, the climatic conditions for the growth, then to develop value-added products with microgreens, calculating cost needed for this cultivation process, then the imparting the awareness class, especially to homemakers, to know what is the importance of microgreens, what is the need of the microgreens. So it is the objectives. Next slide, sir. Next is methodology. Methodology, which are the things that we have taken part during the study. The selection of samples, that was of course microgreen seeds. Selected microgreen seeds were selected. Then tools were used. Tools like scissors, then rectangular trays of customized size. Then cocoa peat was the growing medium used. Then a visual aid, which was just planned in the local regional language for the easy understanding of the thing regarding this microgreens. Next slide, sir. Next is the findings of the study. It is as follows. In the later slide, what I have said, selected microgreen seeds like Swiss chard, basil, beets, mustard, sunflower, oregano, parsley. These are some of the seeds that I have selected for the study. And it was like dill, bok choy, and broccoli. These are also the seeds which were selected, but it was not responding. That is, when I have selected for the growth, it was not responding at all. It hasn't grown. Then the growing medium which was selected, and the Swiss chard, basil, beets, these all seeds have grown well. Growing medium which was selected, as I say, cocoa peat and the sand in the ratio 1:3. Next slide, sir. The next slide. Next is the adequate watering used. That was sprayer was used because excessive watering leads to improper growth. It may die because improper moisture content may lead to improper growth itself. The selected recipes were green salad porridge, mixed rice, soup, green cutlet, boreal. These are the things which were being used with this greens. Next slide, sir. Then I have mentioned one of our research objective was cost calculation for the cultivation of microgreens, and this table suggests how much was the amount and what was the cost which was required for the cultivation purpose, and it is very clear that there is not much cost for this. Even when we get such a thing for very low cost, it is very nutritious and it is also very useful. Next slide, sir. The awareness class was also taken here it is in Kerala, and I have taken some selected samples and I have given awareness class regarding the importance of microgreens. And even the majority was not having the knowledge, that is about 86% was just having the word microgreens for the first time. They were not knowing what is microgreens, what are its importance, and the proper guidance was given along with demonstration. I just gave them a demonstration regarding how to cultivate this microgreens using a very limited space, how we can cultivate microgreens. Next slide, sir. As conclusion, we will get to know that, as I have said, the micronutrient deficiency is very common, and as it is very rich in micronutrients, these greens are very rich in micronutrients, as it is 4 times more micronutrient content as mature vegetables. This is a healthy option for the cultivation of this micronutrients, microgreens, and this is the reference. Assessment of nutrient concentration and nutrient microgreens nutrition, CO et al. Is the author where I just have referred for my majority of the study, and he is the one who have taken such study to a broad extent. So thank you, sir.
Well, ma'am, thank you for your presentation. Like I have a small doubt, ma'am. Can I ask to you?
Okay, sir.
Means like you were saying about microgreens, the baby green
Okay,
product, right? Ma'am, may I know for which purpose it may be useful for the cultivation?
Which purpose? Sir, that is this microgreens. Actually, we are cultivating vegetables, regular vegetables like cabbage or cauliflower. Regular vegetables like peas and all, we are cultivating in our home garden. The main thing is that microgreens are the seeds like things that we can just cultivate inside our home. Like we can just have our window panes or just a little space is needed, and it is only a small size thing that it is growing up to 2 to 3, 6 centimeter only pot. It is. So the thing is that it is very easy to cultivate, and the second thing is that it is having, I think it is having double, it is having double the amount of micronutrient content than the metro vegetables. These are the main purpose of cultivating this. The most important thing is that many of the vegetables and fruits now available are being pumped up with preservatives, not chemicals, pesticides, and all. So this is one of the healthy alternatives, so that they won't use any type of chemicals, any type of pesticides. Pesticides is used for the cultivation of this microgreens. So this is one of the healthy opportunities.
Is this means microgreens are available at all over India or only specific region?
Yes, sir. The thing is that these microgreens are not available. That is a main thing that we should discuss. Microgreen seeds, even if it is available, I have purchased this from online site. Like if anyone needs to purchase it, it is in Amazon online shopping platform. We can have it from there. Even in this nurseries and all, we won't get that, sir. That is the main problem regarding this microgreen. But even there is some initiatives that is we are discussing with higher officials to make this as a very common thing, so that its cost can be reduced. There is many issues regarding that. We need many common platform for the cultivation for the production of these seeds. That's the issue. But now if it is made common for common people, then it will be a great thing, because it is not available as sir have asked. It is not commonly available. It is only available in online platform and not. Even nurseries is not providing this microgreen seeds. But in selected metropolitan cities, we'll have these seeds. Even in the Chennai, Coimbatore cities, in selected pocket areas, we will see this.
Okay. Well, thank you for your presentation, ma'am, and I thank S. Ranjita, Tejmul Islam, and Vinita Anthony for presenting their paper. And
Okay.
coming to the feedback and coming to the entire kind of session, after these 3 days of conference, we are conducting a one mega session. In that mega session, I announced the entire feedback of what you were presented over here, and also I give a particular kind of opportunity to all of you participated personalities. I give a opportunity from our management wonder side, and at that time I will announce at the time of this session, mega session. Thank you for your participation. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your 3 of personalities, and thank you once
Thank you.
again. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
The session has been closed. Thank you.
Mm.